Hi, sorry on the my live recording didn't work today because of the network. So here we go. So today we're going to do rumpus. This is zentangle headquarters pattern. This is an organic pattern which is a flory kind of a stuff, which is very nice. So the pattern goes this way, is that you have a central circle and then you have adjacent circles which are small, big, close by, further down, and how much it's like you just place it at random, you just place it, and you can do a small embellishments of small circles around the big circles, right? And around these all your main connecting circles, you can do a small circles around it just to look at, to give it a little different look, right? Okay, and what happens is that all these will get connected, so you can keep growing. So it's an organic. So how do you connect it is like the what I've talked about is that it's a rice pearl. So it's going to do a thing is that connecting between these, connecting these, connecting these, and then connecting these, and then that's okay. You have not done the small one, it's also okay. Circles. Now these will get connected again, and these will get connected again, and these will get connected, right? And then what we do is we draw another line from one end to this end, and that has an aura kind of a stuff. So for all the three you will have that, and then we will ink this up, and then we connect these. Just put small circles inside this, or you can do anything else. You can just ink it up, right? So you will just see that, right? So, and you can just ink the space also, right? So you will be able to do these. So we will be able to do these things now. And the same way this again gets connected. It can go underneath and then go also. It can be thin one, a fat line, how you want to do that arc is fine. So this is going to be a full space, so you can ink it up. If they were close, you could have been close, so that's fine. No two flowers look the same, right? And you have this gap, so we will do a circle inside this gap, right? Same thing as this goes here. So this is going to be a bigger circles because you have got a bigger space here, right? So that's the thing we're going to do. This one you can do it in a cross. You can do it in a cross. I mean, if your tile was a square, right, you can do it like an arch, and you can have this pattern filling it out here. Or if it was a circle, you can just do a circle of a blooming kind of a stuff, and assume that this is your circle, or just that circle is circle. Or you just have to just do it at one place, one small corner also, just that 3-4 petals you can do it. So the way you place it, it can be anything. You can do a lot of ways to play, and this is an individual pattern, can by itself, or you can mix match, and fine. So let's go to the main tile. So this is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like, right? So this is from my pattern book. So this is from my pattern book, and this is what it is. So let's complete the one what we started in our live session, and we had to leave it. So we will continue that part. right? So I'm just going to do now a lot of circles just to make it finish off the connecting. So this is going to connect it here, and I might have another one here, maybe another one here, maybe another here, right? So let's, as we go, we will see if we need to add some more. So if we need to add some more, we will see what it is, how it the situation is, because as we flow, things will differ, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do these small circles around these. All the one which I've done, I'm just going to make small circles. Right? Right? And here we left a small one, right? So we're just going to let this, right? So now we'll connect it, and then we will see if we're going to, I'm not going to put an aura onto small circles now. I'm just going to leave it. So you're going to have different way it is. This and this will get connected, right? And I assume this and this will get connected, right? And then we have this and this is getting connected, and we have this and this one getting connected, and this and this is getting connected. So we are using the rice pearl to connect, right? And I'm going to connect at this particular junction also, right? And I assume that there is something here, but something is going to be here, so I'm just going to go assume that it is there, and I'm going to assume from here there is something going down, so I'm going to put it out here. So I'm going to 4, it could be 4 or a thing, and yeah, right? And I'm going to do here another one here. I'm just going to do another one here, and I'm going to do another one like this. Get it? And I'm just going to put another small circle out here. See, as I said, as we come, we will put it up. So if now I feel that I need to put it to give it a little meaning, right? So then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do anything out here, or may leave it off like this, and then I'm going to ink it up, right? So now what I will do is my green work, let me finish all my pen. What I'm going to use my pen, Micron 01. So let me use, you can use same pen, I'm just little on the Christmas spree, so I'm using the Christmas. I'm going to create a greeting card out of this, so I just thought, why not use my live session, creation from my live session for my greeting card. Right, so I'm just going to do right. So I've put all my places of my green, I've just put my green, And now I'm going to use again black because I have to do the joining. So let's go in order so that we don't miss anything. So we're going to go this way, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, correct? So this is going to be having a small circles. It's going to have small circles. Right, so it's going to be this small. Right, so let's finish the connecting things and then we'll come back. So let's do this slowly, take your own time, keep moving your tile, keep moving your tile. Okay, and I'm just going to ink it up the space, which is what I needed to do. Now I just remembered, so I'm just going to ink it up this particular space. Right, and I'm going to do all these places. I'm going to draw the ops. Okay, and this is like between these two, so I'm just going to ink this up to just give a different, right? And here I'm going to do an ops. So I'm just going to continue doing these ops. Right, so you get to see it, right? So we continue doing this the full of the so here this is going to be very small circles, so I'm going to be very small the space, so I'm going to make very small circles out there, right? So just see how small I will be doing it. So like I said, we will ink all these spaces. That gives a little different nice. Right, see, there's a difference happening out here. So we will do all those places. So those are all finishing touches, we say. And this is going to be ink. Yeah, and here again. Right, so we've done with this side. So we will go on to this side now. Okay, let's finish this part. Okay, so we'll do a circle. Right, this is a 4, right? So you will get little differently out here. So you can go a little outer way off also, and you assume it is coming this way, right? So what happens, you get to fill, so this one will get inked. So this one will get inked. So I'll just show you how we ink it up. Like I said, that this recording is only for my purpose. It's not for any commercial or any other purpose. This one can be little like these thin. It's, you don't need to have a same size. You can do it how you finding it. Now you see I'm going to do a bigger orbs here because my space is that, and that's why the inking is more important for here. So what you create and what I'll be creating will be completely different. That's why it's very unique. Right? So we'll be inking up this. So before I mess it up, so we will just ink it up. So we just ink it up. Right? So we just ink it up there, so then I don't forget it. So we're going to the next, this part. Like I said, why did I choose this pattern today? Is that November month we celebrate the gratitude, so month of gratitude, and in this week we had rumpus as the one of the challenge pattern. So, and given that this week just went by was Thanksgiving, so I thought we will use this pattern as a gratitude, as thanks to people for joining my session, being this is the 24th session of mine, and network had a problem that we couldn't connect live, but we still have a chance of getting it recorded and being there on the HTV. We still are way, right? So this is going to be inked again. Like I said, I had chosen the colors of being, and this is going to be a zentangle inspired because I've used colors. So because I want to do a Christmas card, so I thought why not use from my live session and use it. So that's why the colors I've chosen to be green, red, the typical, the Christmas colors. And when you're doing this pattern, I would suggest that you use a fine pen, very fine tipped one. And if you're going to use a real broad ones, then your spacing of your circles, they'll have to be, you can't do a very close because they look, right? So what are we doing? We're going to do ops out here. I can get to see it, right? This is going to be one of my first voice log of video, because I usually record and then put my text on it, and that kind of takes my time, so I don't end up doing it. So this is a nice thing that I'm going to do a vlog of my session and put it. So like as like zentangle says, that if there is everything, there's an opportunity. So network had a problem and was not working, so it let me do a voice recording of my session. Like what I did right now, don't do it, because you could have an overlap of connecting and your circles could go. So just, so now when I'm doing it, I will adjust and do it. So always draw the arches and then do your inner circles. Get it? So we've done, we kind of done so much, right? I would do it, but I'm going to ink it more out there. Do this. Right. So I'm going to do this out here. All these ways, once I've done with, it'll get inked with black. Alright. Okay, so this is going to get connected here. So see, this is okay. Here again, I was doing that. I'm not supposed to. Yeah. So this is not getting any. So we have arches here, we have the space to be done here. Right, so this space is going to be, we have the space sitting here. Right, so then we have, we've done quite a lot. We getting. Right, so we went again. So we keep rotating our tile. That's the characteristic of zentangle. Make yourself comfortable and then do it. And these circles need not be same sized, or see, if you can see, I've done big, smalls, so they all vary. Right? Then we'll have this one again here, right? And this one will be connecting it here, and then we have something coming from here because of this. Right, so we have one circle here, then we'll have another circle happening here. Right, and then we're going to have these circles again here. Right, so this will get inked. Right, and this is going to be here. We're going to do this. Right, and then we're going to have this. So we're going to have small circles, big circles. We call it as orbs in zentangle. This is one of the pattern which is by itself is pretty. Don't you agree? Right. So we have one more to do here. So this will be this ink. I'll be inking it up. Right. So this was. Right. We're kind of done. We just have few shadings to be done. Right. And we're here. So these ones also are thin kind of an arches, or they can be thick. right? We just have another 15 minutes to go through, so we should be done with. So I'm just taking a stock that have I finished or I missed some place, right? So I think I'm going to try inking, and no, there is something here which I missed. So this is going to be filled. Right, and this one also has, like I said, right, we will so we go ahead and fill these also, and then we're just going to try doing a thing, right? Okay, this particular one also we will assume, and we will draw one, and we will fill this up. Get it? So we're filling it up. Right, so I'm just going to do what the next what I'm going to do is, if I'm done with my arches, I'll be inking up all my the white black space, then we will continue. Yeah, I've left here. Let's finish here also. Right, so I'm going to just go ink my all my dark spaces, so wherever it's going to be my broad, so I'm just going to check it up and I'm just going to ink it up. What I'll do is I'll ink the center part of it, the edges part I'll leave it, and I'll use a little finer tip and then do it. You all know that I use a little, for filling I use a different Sakura pen. And these tips, because the other tip was little broader, so wanted a little fine one, so I used a same one with a dual nib. This is, so I just used. So where there's a lot of inking to be done, I'm using these. And then you're the finer one to give me a little. So I'm just going to ink it up all these spaces. So then I can use my finer one to ink that. Right, so Let's start from this. So all my fine space gets inked up. I'm primarily ink it up. See, when you ink it up, it gives you a different effect itself. I'm missing the sessions, your comments. So once it's on the IGTV, just leave your comment so that I can post facto enjoy the comment. You have to be careful because this is a pearl, so you shouldn't be doing it. So you have to be careful, keep a watch, and then do it. So you have to take your time, no hurry. So do it slowly so that that particular thing doesn't get inked. If it gets inked, you need to, there's a way to correct it. Like I always say that in my class, right? So take a zentangle class, the beginner class, if you have not taken it, from a certified zentangle teacher to get the right benefit. What we teach here is very limited. Right, so here we need to ink it up. When you're doing these works, we take a stock, so you have to slowly move around. You keep, so there's no hurry, you have to do it slow. You're not going to catch any bus. Here I'm not. So since I've not done a circle and this is a little finer one, so I'm going to use this one to draw the circles, but they will look too dark. It's okay. So how the inking makes a lot of differences. Right, so the inking is making a lot of differences. So I'm just taking a stock that have I filled all the spaces or I've left any space. Right. So this particular space is there. Ink it up. Right. So ink it up here. Right. Ink it up, ink it up. Yes, you're goodly done. Right, so what we do is we will have to ink those small spaces, so that I will use the other micron and do it. So now I'm going to use my red and I'm just going to ink it up here. It's going to give us a kind of a hatching kind of a effect. We use this in pencil sketching. So I'm just done that. I use more on the and darker on the edges, and only pressure pen, the way you put pressure on your pen. So your strokes are on the other side. I'm doing the bigger ones, and then I'll do the thinner ones. Yeah, here I've left the smaller circles to do it. I'll do it. Just remember that. I'll remember that. Don't do go from down to up. So do it from down to up. Right, so we've done all the big ones, right? So they look different. See, it's a different effect. So now I'm going to go all these places, and I'm just going to ink it up a little darker for these ones. The thinner ones I'm just going to do a little darker ones. On the edges I'm going to really put a little darker one, just to give a different effect. So it's going to be right. So you get to see it. So you get to see how the inking and the little of the thing is giving a little different look. This is a very nice one. I love watching when Maria does this pattern. I struggled in the initial days. Then I slowly watched. So when you have something, you just watch for some 2-3 times the person is demonstrating it, you will get it. You just have to get the how it is being done. That's it. I will be doing shading on this. This is not, I'm just going to give you a little more, a little very light shading effect to it. We can't be without shading. Yeah, there's some patterns you can be without shading, but this is not going to be left without shading. So that, right, so we just go see wherever that is, you get to see a white, you get right. When you start doing it, no, we get so involved, we forget to chat. And then when you're doing a session like these, then we realize that we're quiet, and then we start the conversation. Because that's what happens. We get into this kind of a zen mode doing these. We've done. There's one place where I left the black circle somewhere. I left one space, so I'm just going to keep a look of what for that. Yeah, I've not done the inking here, so let me do that inking part here. But somewhere I left, I'd seen a white space here. It was just there and I couldn't notice it out. So can you see that? Right, so we've not done this particular thing, so let's finish here also, and we do here. Right, we've done, and most of the places no, we have not done here, right, and then we have not done it here. We've not done it here. We've not done it here. That's what you keep a stock of what does not happen, and then you get to see it. Right, we've done. How does it look? So now what we get into it, we get into the shading part. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do little shading out here, only on the edges of each of this, we call it as, okay, we'll say petals. So each of these petals I'm just going to go only on the petals, the bigger petals, the center main petals. I'm just going to do on each edge, only on the edge, on both the sides of the edge. I'm just going and putting little graphite. You think this is a big pencil, this is a small pencil. My, that's why I have a pencil holder for it. Right, so now just going to take my stub. Well, my stub is not been sharpened because it's going to be a bigger area. I haven't sharpened. If it was a smaller delicate area, then I needed to sharpen my. Also the graphites have come, right, so they become little. Can you see how the shading is bringing in? Even if I haven't put my graphite there, the graphite on my stubs is enough. We're doing a very, just pulling up a little only. You saw how the shading, right? So the shading gave a little different look to it, right? So you want to darken it up, you can darken it up more. Right? And what we'll do is we will do all those small spaces. So maybe I will not be doing recording it because it will take time for me. I will quickly do it, and then I'm just going to demonstrate it here, that all these small gaps, the scribby small gaps, I will be filling it up with ink. So those are my finishing touches to it, right? So I'll be doing those ones also. So when you see the final one, you will get to see the difference. So that's the tile what we wanted to create it. So this is before the session I had done it. So I'm just going to zoom out a little. Right, so I'm going to zoom out a little to just show that. And this is the pattern from my pattern card. So they look nice, right? A family, right? So I used my micron pens, and then I went about doing it, right? So this is what we did. There I've kind of given a little more inking on each of those petals, so to give that little more darkening effect, which I've not done it. I've left it subtle out here. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and this is something I did an illusion one. So do join in for my advanced classes or the beginners classes. Advanced classes, there are a lot. So I do post it on my stories, and do watch my stories and my feed, and then just personal message me if you're interested in any particular one, then we will take it accordingly. See you. I hope the next week at least we don't have this network problem and we get to connect live together. See you all.